Good morning, this is Peter Burns coming to you from La Jolla, and on this video I would like to share with you a brand new innovation regarding luxury vacation villas. I stumbled upon something that I was actually quite familiar with 12 years ago, and I wanted to introduce it to you to share with your friends or perhaps yourselves. If you have a luxury vacation villa and you rent it out, and it turns out that there is an extremely powerful tax benefit that you certainly are not aware of. There is an engineering concept approved by the IRS over 20 years ago for commercial real estate owners, and it's called cost segregation. Now, your CPA may certainly have heard of it. However, you have to understand that your CPA cannot perform a cost segregation because it is strictly an engineering function that has to be performed by a trained cost segregation engineer who can read blueprints and put together this study that is approved by the IRS. Now, surprisingly enough, even though it has been in place for over 20 years, less than 5% of all commercial property owners in the United States take advantage of this. All the big four accounting firms have their own cost segregation divisions, and they of course take care of their large fee-paying clients. However, 95% of you out there that own commercial real estate do not have a cost segregation study, and you do not benefit from the incredible tax savings that this particular engineering function does. So let me tell you a little story. As I've shared with you in other videos, I operate out of a wonderful place where I get my lattes called The Lot in La Jolla. And I was interviewing a client for our luxury villa company to include his $14 million villa in our program. For those of you that are not aware, I am in the luxury villa rental business, and we have figured out a unique way to acquire blocks of time that are empty in these beautiful multi-million-dollar vacation villas around the world. We have about 1,000 villas in our program right now. My goal is to have 2,000. And so, in the course of conversation with our new addition with the $14 million villa, I found out that this gentleman actually booked 70% of the available time in his villa to vacationers. Now that is the exception rather than the rule, because industry averages show that utilization is only 26%. That means that these multi-million-dollar vacation villas are actually empty nearly 3/4 of the time. And that is the basis of how I founded my business. I have figured out a way to monetize blocks of empty time to the benefit of the homeowner in exchange for trading luxury goods for that time and remarketing at a discount to our cadre of very wealthy luxury vacationers who want to save money in these beautiful villas. That's the crux of the business. So when I'm talking to this gentleman with this spectacular waterfront home in La Jolla, he shared with me that the reason why his occupancy levels were double or more than anybody else in our program was because he was in the commercial real estate business, and he himself used his villa, or I should say treated his villa exactly like another piece of commercial property. Well, that triggered something in my memory. It triggered something that I had put together 2005 or 2006, where I had actually created a marketing company for cost segregation, whereas I would refer commercial property owners to a half a dozen engineers that I had negotiated fee agreements with in exchange for a portion of the fee that they charged my commercial landholders. And it was a great business, made 180 grand in 3 months. And I actually had the business plan formulated in a class I was teaching called Ready, Fire, Aim. I was an adjunct professor at Barrett College at ASU, and this is what I like to do. I like to start businesses, and this worked, and it was great. Now, unfortunately for me, the student who I had hired to run the business, went off to law school. So I put my marketing company on the bookshelf, and I haven't pulled it out occasionally to do cost segs for people that were in my space that had commercial real estate. So I remembered that great business, and then I wondered if I could use our villas in our program and have cost segs done for them. Well, I started interviewing cost segregation engineers in San Diego, and on my second interview, I found a gentleman who'd been in the cost segregation business for 20 years. He worked for the largest firm in the United States. They had tens of thousands of cost segregations underneath their belt. And when I told him my concept of actually applying cost segregation theory to luxury vacation villas, the benefit of those owners, he said, "You're dead on. I just did one for an $8 million villa in Telluride. I got the guy back $1 million in tax benefits. I increased his cash flow by $500,000 a year." And I said, "Oh my God, this is incredible." So I went about to put together a brand new business, which you can visit at www.hlcostsegs.com, and I now can offer cost segregation studies to the villa owners who come into our program, and I'm actually willing to pick up the tab for the cost segregation study in exchange for a block of unused time that I'm going to remarket to our high net worth individuals. So just wanted to share that with you. If you or anyone that you know has a vacation villa, I can get them back literally hundreds of thousands of dollars by coming out into our program, and it costs them a big fat zero. Thank you again. This is Peter Burns from La Jolla.